Yo, what's up? So basically, in this little box here is some more samples that I ordered for some fragrances. I ordered this from Oz Fragrances, if you're wondering, and I've got quite a few in here that I ordered. This was actually the biggest surprise to me, was there's so many good ones in here that I wasn't expecting to just make this a really difficult choice. But there's a few in here that really surprised me, and some of them actually were extremely hard to kind of pick which ones I like more. They're only 2 ml samples. As you can see, they come in these really small packs. So I don't really get the full experience of like spraying it all over my body, and like actually wearing it for a whole day. So you have to put a little bit on your wrists just so you can sample it, you know what I mean? So I haven't tried all of these yet, but I've got like a few left that I'll like try today in this video. But there is a few that I have actually tried already. Right here is my laptop computer, which I've taken notes, and it's going to help me remember the orders and all the little things that I kind of picked up the first time I smelt them. Basically, I've only tried these once, so this is all first impressions, and in a couple of my other videos I was actually wrong because I smelt them first time. They always smell different after a few times you've worn them. They eventually like change. You might pick up on things you missed. There may be things that I missed. I might be wrong. This is purely first impressions, and my opinion will change over time. But I'll just say, in my previous videos, I was wrong about a few things. Like, some of the fragrances have actually grown on me and I like them a bit more. Some of them I hate since the last few videos. To start this off would be, in this little packet, we have 4 different fragrances in here. Right here we have Halloween Man X, YSL Y EDP, Nautica Voyage, and UOMO Signature. Salvatore, Ferragamo, UOMO Signature. The first one I actually tried was Halloween Man X, because this was something that I've been wondering for a while now. Am I going to like it or not? It's a coffee fragrance, and I absolutely love coffee. What I've written down in my notes here was, it's fresh, it has a nice opening, and then the dry down is really coffee scented. Like, it's a really nice coffee scent that comes through in the dry down. This is actually the best coffee scent I've ever tried, because I've tried By Kilian Black Phantom. That was really sweet. I do like the coffee note, but it's all sweet. And when you have Halloween Man X here, this is like, it's not overly sweet. There is enough freshness in here that makes it like a perfect fragrance. Because I love coffee, I'm a little bit biased towards coffee. It might be subjective, you may hate coffee, you may like. Halloween Man X is like instantly one of my top 5 fragrances. It's coffee, it's fresh, it's light and airy. It's like a better version of By Kilian Black Phantom, just because it's more fresh without all the overly sweet stuff in it. I'll rank them all at the end. I'll put a box up here anyway, like in this corner, and that will be where the whole list of rankings will be, okay? There's not much more I can say about Halloween Man X. Coffee, fresh, delicious, really nice, probably the best coffee scent around. And the next is YSL Y EDP. And this was probably one of the most hyped ones on the list, apart from Dior Sauvage. I've heard so many people talk about YSL Y EDP, and I just don't get the hype. To me, it was a citrus fragrance with some floral notes in it, but nothing like I expected. It doesn't live up to the hype at all. It actually made me feel really sick, gave me a headache, and it's really synthetic. Like, there's something synthetic and poisonous or chemical smelling about this that just gives me a massive headache, and I can't figure out what it is. But to me, I didn't really like the YSL Y that much. I mean, I don't hate it, because it is still a citrus fragrance. It's fresh, there is some floral notes in there, but it smells, yeah, it smells cheap. It smells like a toilet spray, and there's way better citrus fragrances you can get. So don't believe the hype from all these YouTubers. It's not really worth it. Painful. The next is Salvatore Ferragamo UOMO Signature, and this, I actually tried this for the first time today, and I have it sprayed on my wrist right here. Yeah, and this one is like, I have a hard time choosing between Halloween Man X and UOMO Signature, because they're both coffee fragrances. I don't know which one I like more. This Halloween Man X smells way more like coffee. This is definitely a stronger coffee smell. UOMO Signature is more fresh. So do you want the balance of fresh coffee with some extra notes in there? Then go with UOMO Signature. If you just want mainly a coffee fragrance that's delicious, Halloween Man X. But I was voting based more off balance. What has more depth and layers and balance? So UOMO Signature, I think, is a better balanced fragrance. There is some stuff that I wrote down for this one. I said it opens very citrus with tonka. There's an undertone of coffee. So a fresh citrus opening with tonka and coffee is like, they're the three main ones you get on the opening. When it starts to dry down a little bit, the coffee comes out a little bit more, the tonka comes out more, you get, yeah, it's just, the dry down brings out a little bit more coffee and tonka. There's maybe something even a little bit spicy about this. Peppery or spicy, something in there that's really nice, but it's not overpowering. So yeah, I love coffee and I love tonka. They're like my two favorite notes. So I'm going to be really biased towards UOMO Signature. Obviously, I like those notes more than others. I got to say that UOMO Signature may even be like my next favorite, like my new favorite fragrance of all time. But I'm going to have to smell Eros and compare Eros with that and see which one I like more, Eros or Signature. But I've got it on my wrist now and I can't stop smelling my wrist because I absolutely love it. I haven't actually tried Nautica Voyage yet, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try Nautica Voyage just for the sake of this video. I'll try Nautica Voyage and then I'll give it some time to dry down and everything, and then I'll come back to it. So one spray on the back of my hand here. It's nice. It's a beautiful, pretty generic opening already. Very aquatic, light, fresh, citrusy, almost reminiscent of Acqua di Gio and Versace Pour Homme. A little bit of Acqua di Gio. No, it's Ralph Lauren Deep Blue. That's what it is. I'm smelling Ralph Lauren Deep Blue in here. Really nice. I actually like Nautica Voyage because it's a dumb reach. It's basically every generic, fresh, clean blue fragrance out there, but done well. It's not overpowering citrus like you usually get. It's more on the aquatic side, not the citrus side. That's really good. That's like Ralph Lauren Deep Blue with a little bit of Versace Pour Homme and Acqua di Gio in there. Wow. Okay, that has impressed me. I like that a lot. I'll come down to the dry down. I'll come back to that. So the next few ones I've got, Dior Sauvage. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into it. The controversial ones. Carolina Herrera, Bad Boy. Chanel Allure Homme Eau Extreme. You know the Chanel Eau Extreme Allure Sport. Dior Sauvage and BVLGARI Man in Black. So we'll start with Dior Sauvage because I think that is the one that needs to be talked about the most. And I'll get my notes out here for a sec. Okay, so my first impressions with this, I sprayed it on my wrist. I'm like, that's not bad at all. The opening is okay. I like the opening. It is citrus, it's very masculine, but it's very synthetic and poison. It smells like poison in a way, like a synthetic lemon poison. But I'll admit, on the first spray, I didn't mind it, but I didn't love it either. But I reckon this smells very cheap. I think Dior Sauvage smells cheap because it's just such a fake citrus smell. And it has that ambroxan and poisonous chemical in there that's like, I don't see why people love this so much. So the question is, how good is Dior Sauvage actually? The answer is not very good. It's overrated, smells cheap, synthetic, poisonous. It gives me a headache, makes me feel sick. And I'm not just saying this, I mean, I put it on my wrist and I gave this a few hours to kind of grow on me to see if I would like it more as it dries down. And I actually hated it more. As it starts to dry down, I hated it even more than the first opening. So that's not a good sign already for Dior Sauvage. I'll just say it's the EDT version, not the EDP. This is the EDT version. But yeah, if I had to compare it to something like YSL, I still think the YSL is better. I know a lot of people compare them. I think the YSL is better than Dior Sauvage. And we'll see in this list, I think I actually put Dior Sauvage right at the bottom. And I mean, I wanted to like Dior Sauvage. I didn't have any biased opinions at all, but before smelling it, I'm like, it's hyped, it must be good for a reason. So I went into this with the expectation that it's going to be nice. I'm not going to say it's bad because it was, I didn't hate it as much as some other stuff. It wasn't as bad as like Intense Cafe or Mancera Oud Lemon Mint. Like, that smells like Band-Aids, and Intense Cafe smells like old people and roses and flowers and potpourri. At least this is still citrus. It's just a synthetic, cheap citrus smell. And now I'm smelling that Nautica Voyage again. The more I smell it, it keeps getting more aquatic in the dry down. Man, this is great. Nautica Voyage is like, it just reminds me so much of Versace Pour Homme and Ralph Lauren Deep Blue. Like, if those two like combined, it would be this. And I think after this video, I'm going to buy myself a bottle of that because I really like that. It's like fresh. Girls are going to love Nautica Voyage. They'll love it. Trust me, they'll eat that up. So next, BVLGARI Man in Black. Another hype train, but it actually lives up to expectation because I wasn't really expecting much with BVLGARI. I've heard people compare it to Spice Bomb, but in my experience, I said it does open up with tobacco, cinnamon, but then there's some clean, vibrant florals in there, which Spice Bomb doesn't have. Spice Bomb does not have those florals which lighten it and give it balance. BVLGARI Man in Black has florals, but it also has the tobacco, it has the cinnamon. It doesn't smell as strong as Spice Bomb, so maybe you like the smell of tobacco more, and Spice Bomb's more potent, more concentrated. BVLGARI Man in Black is more balanced, and I would choose balance with a little bit of freshness in there from the florals. What florals I'm talking about is iris. The iris mixed with that tonka, there's like a little bit of tonka or something in there with the BVLGARI Man in Black, and like I do like tonka. And I like iris if it's done well. I think it's great. I think it's a really solid fragrance. I like it more than Spice Bomb Extreme. I think Spice Bomb's overrated, and BVLGARI Man in Black actually lives up to the hype. Basically, in the dry down, I did note on my computer that it starts to smell a little bit like cola and generic amber. So that is true. Like most amber fragrances, they all kind of smell the same in the dry down. Very sweet, very cola-like. If you've smelled Spice Bomb Extreme, you'll know in the dry down it smells like cola. And Man in Black does have that same dry down, but a little bit lighter and fresher because of the iris. Should you buy a BVLGARI Man in Black? I'd say yeah, absolutely. It's good. Should you buy Dior Sauvage? No way. I've seen the price of Dior Sauvage as well, and I couldn't justify paying any more than $50 for Dior Sauvage. Even Cool Water smells better, and Cool Water's cheap. So why would you want to pay a ridiculous amount of money for something that doesn't even smell better than Cool Water, which is cheap? So next is Chanel Allure Home Sport O Extreme. This one disappointed me because Chanel are known for having the best citrus fragrances. Obviously they do citrus the best. It's any citrus fragrance by Chanel actually is natural. It's not synthetic. It's a very natural citrus smell. For that, I'm going to say this is great. It's actually very woody. So like Bleu de Chanel, it has wood, it has citrus, very close to Bleu de Chanel. But some people say this is creamy. Nah bro. There's no creaminess in this at all, which I was disappointed by because I like something creamy or a little bit of sweetness in there, and I didn't get that from this. I was really hoping I would get that creaminess everyone was talking about, and then it would have been like my favorite right up the top. So I'm very disappointed, but I can't say it's bad. It's really nice. I like Bleu de Chanel. I like this equally as much as Bleu de Chanel. So if you want a citrus wood fragrance that's just very natural smelling, Chanel Allure Home Sport. It's great. I mean, if you're going to pay this, there's no way you would regret buying it, honestly. So the last here is Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. Haven't smelt this one either, so let's give this a spray and come back to it. See, this is also first time smelling this. Oh wow. Yeah, it's fruity. So Carolina Herrera is actually a nice fruity opening. Yeah, it is citrus. Maybe a little bit more citrus and fruit. Yeah. I'm going to check the notes for this quickly because I've never actually checked the notes for it. And yeah, this is the EDT version for men. So what am I actually smelling? What's that citrus So it was citrus, it's bergamot, wood. So citrus and wood, another citrus and wood kind of smell. It's nice, I like it. I think the wood's maybe not as strong as it could be. It is on the citrus side, but there's something fruity about it. I think it might be tonka. It says it's tonka. There's like something that's peeking through at the back. I can't figure it out, but I'm gonna give this some time to dry because that's when you'll start noticing all those stuff in the back, you know. Once it dries down a little bit, it gets a little better. We'll come back to Carolina Herrera and let's talk about some more that I've actually tried. So in this pack would be, we got the Pradas. The Pradas are in the house. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. Prada Luna Rossa Black. Boss the Scent Private Accord. Jean-Paul Gaultier or Gaultier Le Parfum. JPG Le Parfum. Okay, which one surprised me the most out of these four? Because I've smelled all of these. I'm wearing the Scent Private Accord on my wrist right now because it was coffee scented and I wanted to compare the Scent Private Accord with UOMO Signature. So 2 coffee scents, which is the best? The answer is UOMO Signature, but it is a little bit more complicated than that. The Scent Private Accord, if you were to look at the notes on Fragrantica, there's a bunch of sweet notes in here. So you would think it smells like your generic amber fragrance, overly sweet, if you looked at the notes. And what surprised me was this is fresh. I was like, how is the Scent Private Accord fresh? You look at the bottle, it looks amber colored. You would think it's just another winter fragrance. I was so wrong, man. Like, the Scent Private Accord is a fresh fragrance. It's fresh, it's not overly sweet. If anything, it smells like citrus, which I had no expectation of any citrus being in here. So what do my notes say for this? My notes say that it smells like citrus, it smells like wood, it smells like vanilla. So the opening is citrus, wood, and vanilla. That's the main 3 things you get. Being a coffee fragrance, I expected more coffee to be in here. But the coffee kind of comes out through the dry down. So it's not a very noticeable smell in this at all. I mean, once it dries down, it actually does become more noticeable. So I should say, you can notice it in the dry down, but not in the opening, if that makes sense. Because I can smell coffee now on my wrist. It's just not the strongest coffee smell. And yeah, it's got some cacao and patchouli. The cacao kind of does come out a little bit. That's more noticeable than the coffee. And the patchouli is also quite noticeable in this. It gives it a little bit of freshness and masculinity. And I think patchouli and citrus are a great combination. They mix really well. So the Scent Private Accord is balanced. It's a well-balanced fragrance. It has sweetness and freshness. Sweetness and freshness. And I always look for that balance. And that's why it surprised me, because I own quite a few amber fragrances already, and this has the balance that I wanted, I've been looking for. The next, without talking too much, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. My camera hasn't got much battery, so I'm going to be quick. Luna Rossa Ocean. Citrus, floral, iris, patchouli, suede. The opening is floral, citrus. The dry down is a little bit of patchouli and suede, just a little bit. But Prada Luna Rossa Ocean actually has an incense vibe to it, like Bleu de Chanel. So I've compared this to Bleu de Chanel. It's not a cologne of Bleu de Chanel, but it's very, very similar if you want something that's like it. It's got an incense vibe because of the florals, and it has almost the exact same citrus smell as Bleu de Chanel. If you want something that smells like Bleu de Chanel, go with Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. I think this is underrated because, yeah, it's definitely an underrated scent for me, considering how similar it is to Bleu de Chanel, and everyone loves that one, so there's not much more I can say. It's pretty generic for a blue fragrance. It's fresh, clean citrus. It's floral. It's got the iris in there. Great. So the other one is Prada Luna Rossa Black. So this is the black version, and I like that a little bit more because it's soapy. Luna Rossa Black smells more like Prada Alone, and it's creamy, it's soapy, it's floral. It's got a little bit of musk, a little little patchouli. There's something masculine in there. You get a little bit of coumarin, which is almost, coumarin is like almost like tonka-y, vanilla-y, sweet. It's great. Coumarin's a great note that doesn't get used enough. So if you want something that smells like Prada L'Homme with a little less soapy, a little bit less creamy, more masculine. Luna Rossa Black is like very, very close to Prada L'Homme, but more masculine, less soapy though. So that's all I can say really. And then you got JPG Le Parfum. I wasn't expecting this to be as great as it is, but Le Parfum is probably the most fresh out of the Le Male lineup and flankers. So this also, JPG, has a Prada L'Homme kind of vibe with the iris in there. It's not soapy at all. There is the vanilla smell, but it's more balanced with the iris. This has iris in it too, and it's so good. The iris goes so well with the freshness, the sweetness, the vanilla-y kind of smell. Man, I was surprised by Le Parfum. It was like one of my favorites. It's creamy, vanilla-y, it's got iris. It's like if you took Prada L'Homme and added more vanilla into it, and then made it sweeter, more refined, more mature, and a fresher version of the Le Male lineup, because a lot of the Le Males can smell quite young, quite club-like, and this is more a refined, adult, mature version of the Le Males. Sweeter version of Prada L'Homme, less soapy, it's got the iris and it's more sweet. So, this is great stuff. I love Le Male Le Parfum. So definitely I would recommend buying that for sure. I'm going to get myself a bottle very soon. And let's come back to Bad Boy. Okay, so Bad Boy hasn't really changed at all. It still smells citrusy, smells woody. Yeah, that's all I can smell, sorry, but Carolina Herrera, citrus, wood, can't smell anything else. I might have to smell that a second time. Initial first impressions though, I can't smell the tonka or the chocolate. I think if I could smell tonka and chocolate in there, I would like that a bit more. But I could be wrong about Bad Boy, honestly. I just think I'm not spraying enough to get the full smell. I'm gonna say maybe I'm wrong. So, first impressions only. I like it. I like Bad Boy. It's great. It is very nice. As with most wood citrus fragrances, it's great. Tonka being one of my favorite notes. If I can manage to smell any tonka in this in like the second time I smell it, the third time I smell it, this would probably be one of my favorites, honestly, because tonka is all it needs for this to be right up the top for me as one of my favorites. So, I'll give this some time to grow on me. Maybe in another video, who knows, it might be one of my favorites. I'm just gonna pause the video here. I'll be back. I need to charge my camera, so don't go anywhere. I'll be back to review the rest. Yeah, alright, so I'm back. And something interesting happened with the Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. So, it's been a while, maybe like 10-15 minutes since I stopped the video, and I came back to it, and I can smell the tonka in the Herrera now. So I'm actually getting Versace Eros vibes now from the Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. EDT version, by the way, not the Le Parfum. It smells like Eros with less tonka but more fresh. So if you want something that's like Eros but more fresh and less sweet, then go with Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. But for me, this is a little bit too much citrus for my liking. I'm not a big fan of citrus, and there's not as much tonka as Eros. So I still prefer Eros just because there's more tonka and less citrus in it. And yeah, this still does have the citrusy wood smell, but with tonka. Whereas Eros is still fresh, but it's a little bit more on the minty side rather than citrusy side. It's very close though. I think they're very similar fragrances, but that means I like it way more than when I first sprayed it now. Now it's dried down, I can smell the tonka, and I like it a lot more now. Yeah, I gotta finish with these. The next few ones I've got here are some other popular ones, some hyped fragrances that you would definitely have heard of. Guerlain or Guerlain. I think it's Guerlain or Guerlain. I don't know how to pronounce that, but this is L'Homme Ideal. L'Homme Ideal Guerlain. That basically the one that everyone talks about, the hyped one. So it's nice. Being of course it's an amber fragrance, but it's nice. I didn't expect it to smell the way it does. So I'm gonna check my notes. It says opens with cherry and then it dries down to cola with some vanilla and leather in it. So when they say a cherry smell, I wasn't imagining it to smell like full on like cherry. I thought like fruity or something, but nah, this is like cherry cough syrup, which is good and not good at the same time. It has that cough syrup smell, the cherry cough syrup, so it's very sweet, and there is some leather kind of in there with that. As it dries down, you get more cola, like cherry cola, cherry coke. Remember that? Cherry coke, cherry cola. That's what this is like. If I had to describe it, I would say cherry cola with a little bit of leather in there. And vanilla. Yeah, leather and vanilla just kind of peeking through the back. Just peeping through. Sitting at the back but peeping through a little bit. Just kind of like add something, a little bit of depth in there. It's nice. If you like that cherry cola, syrupy medicine kind of smell, then you'll like this. But for some people that might actually put them off, is kind of like a medicinal cough syrup cola smell. It's not fresh at all. So this is just a sweet bomb, a bunch of sweetness with no freshness in it. I can't say it's a well-balanced fragrance just because it's all sweet, but it's nice. And it's one of those amber sweet fragrances that doesn't smell like all the other ones. Like this truly, like they say, it's unique and it's really a sweet fragrance that smells like nothing else. It's unique and signature scent. Yes, you could have this as a signature scent because there's nothing that's going to smell anything like it. Another hype train, Dior Homme. Is it Homme or Homme? Dior 2020. Dior Homme 2020. Well, I know people like the original, not the 2020 version. I couldn't do much about that. I could only get the 2020 version. And I know people like the intense version, and I just didn't order that because I don't know why. But this was hyped, and it doesn't live up to the hype either. I said it opens up with citrus, leather, wood, and then there's no actual leather in here. So there's a leathery smell, but there is actually no leather in there. But I think the leather smell comes from citrus mixing with wood, patchouli, and musk. You get like a masculine smell, which is the patchouli, musk mixing with the citrus. And then actually I said, yeah, Creed Aventus. I get Creed Aventus vibes from this and Bleu de Chanel vibes. So I say that because it's citrus and woody. It's a very citrus woody smell, but there's a little bit of smokiness in there, making it like Aventus. You know how Aventus has that really masculine, woody, citrus, smoky smell? That's what this is like. But then Bleu de Chanel is a little bit fresher, a little bit more natural smelling citrus. You get a little bit of both. If Bleu de Chanel and Creed Aventus were like fused together, it would be like this. But like only a little bit of Creed Aventus, like the tiniest little bit just dropped into Bleu de Chanel, just enough to give it that kind of that masculine smokiness. That's what I think of Dior Homme. But I'm gonna just say this is probably my brain tricking me because it's my first time I've ever smelt it. I haven't gone back to smell it since, so I'll probably be wrong. I've heard people say this is powdery and very soft and irisy or something like that. Soft, powdery. I don't get that from theirs. I get smoky citrus, woody, masculine smell. So complete opposite to what everyone hypes it up to be. That's what I'm going to say. I'm probably wrong about that, and I'm going to have to come back and smell that a few times so I can really understand the fragrance more. Like, yeah, oh, here's a bit of this, here's something I missed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I was smelling something else at the time. And the next is Stronger With You, absolutely. Another hyped one. I think it lives up to the hype. I like Stronger With You, absolutely. As you expect, it's sweet. No surprise there. It's a sweet bomb. Boy, it smells like vanilla, rum, chocolate, wood cedar, and bubblegum. So the dry down is like ultra male. You've ever smelled ultra male that has that bubblegum smell? Yeah, Stronger With You smells like ultra male in the dry down. But the opening does smell like vanilla, which is obviously Le Male, Ultra Male, vanilla-y bubblegum. But then you have rum. The rum is not super strong. It doesn't smell like very like rum-like, alcoholic. But there's enough in there to kind of like give a little bit of a twist, just to make it smell a bit different. I get a chocolate cacao smell, like Pure Excess Night. You know that Lynx chocolate, the Axe chocolate body spray, or the chocolatey note in Pure Excess Night? It's usually in like fragrances. I get that from this, like the cacao note is noticeable in here for me. But yeah, if I had to just say, it smells like ultra male. Really sweet ultra male kind of like fragrance right there. I do like it more than ultra male though, because actually I don't know if I like it more. I think I like it about the same, because ultra male has pear, even though I don't really smell the pear in ultra male. I don't really smell the rum in this either. Like I was gonna say, there's rum, so I like it more because of the rum, but I don't really smell the rum, just like I don't really smell the pear in ultra males. I mean, it's there, but it's barely noticeable. So it's sweet, not a very well balanced one, but it is sweet. But this Givenchy or Givenchy, I don't know. Gentleman Boisee. Givenchy Gentleman Boisee. Great hyped fragrance. Lives up to the hype, absolutely. It's a woody floral scent, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it opens up with a very nice clean floral, woody, musky or mint kind of smell. So there's some patchouli in here. It makes you a little bit masculine and minty. And almost musky. It's mainly floral wood. It's masculine, but not overly masculine. Feminine, just enough that girls can wear it. If you're wondering, is it too masculine for a girl? No, it's feminine just enough. But for a floral wood, it's masculine enough for a man to wear as well. Because a lot of florals can be a little bit girly. And this is just kind of like unisex, so yeah, I'd call it unisex. Maybe leaning towards the men a little bit more. But it's so good. This is like, it's got that balance, the balance that you want of wood. I think wood can often come across as like very earthy, warm in a way. And the floral just brings out a little bit of lightness and freshness, which just complements the wood so well, like the florals and the wood. Givenchy Gentleman Boisee. It lives up to the hype. It's amazing stuff. Just buy it. You're not going to regret this one at all. I love that, honestly. So thanks to the YouTubers that did recommend that for me. Definitely worth buying, and I don't regret that. The next ones that I've got here, Wanted by Night by AZZARO. And I like this one too, but it's another sweet, overly sweet fragrance, obviously, being a nighttime fragrance and all. So it opens up like Spice Bomb and Armani Code. Wanted by Night is literally like Spice Bomb and Armani Code combined. So you have the cinnamon tobacco opening of Spice Bomb. You have that powdery kind of dry down from the Armani Code. And they fuse so well. Like it's like, there's a little bit of vanilla, tobacco, cinnamon, leather just sitting there. Powderiness, there's almost like an incense vibe. Spice Bomb is kind of like cola. It just smells like cola and cinnamon and tobacco. And Armani Code is almost like very sweet, powdery, but then it has that 1 million vibe. And when they combine it, it's very well done. So I'm gonna say I like this more than Spice Bomb. I don't know if I like it more than Armani Code, just because it's not exactly like Armani Code. Armani Code's perfect. And this still does come across a little bit more like Spice Bomb than Armani Code. So it's more on the Spice Bomb side. And it's sweet, there's no freshness in there, but I think the powderiness does help it a lot. Yeah, it's just got more depth in it. There's just some depth to it that Spice Bomb doesn't have, and I think more people should buy AZZARO Wanted by Night over Spice Bomb. Next, oh yeah, I just want to say I don't hate AZZARO at all. I actually really like that. And I don't hate Spice Bomb. I actually like Spice Bomb as well. So 2 fragrances here that I haven't tried either. Mercedes-Benz Club Black. First time spraying it, so I'm gonna have to let this dry down, and I'm gonna have to come back later, maybe like half an hour later. I'll pause the video and come back to it. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Right away, I get this amazing sweet opening. It's very sweet in the opening, vanilla-y and sweet. Okay. And the next, I'll come back to that, so don't worry about that just yet. The next is Amen or Mugler Pure Havane. And everyone knows Pure Havane. It's famous as heck. It's like everyone knows it. It's been hyped up quite a lot, but it's not so easy to find these days. And rest in peace to the Mugler guy. Sorry, I forget his name, but he just passed away. The guy that owned that company. And that's nice. That is very nice too. That's got a very mature, fresh opening to to it. The pure Havane is kind of like more manly, more fresh. Ooh, that's weird. That's nice. It's almost a licorice vibe to that. It's almost like licorice. Yeah, something in there is nice. I don't like licorice, by the way, but I mean, just the smell of that is kind of reminding me of licorice. I need to just check these notes quickly so I know what I'm smelling, because there's no way I'll pick out the notes in these. They're just too, I can't. They're not prominent enough for me to kind of pick them out. So, pure Havane, the notes, patchouli, I think I'm getting patchouli in there. There's something in that, I don't know what styrax is, or labdamen, or, I don't know. It says there's honey, vanilla, honey, tobacco, vanilla, cacao. So I was expecting this to be a very tobacco-dominated fragrance, being pure Havane. I don't get any tobacco in this, so I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed, but I'm going to have to let it dry down. I don't smell vanilla or tobacco or chocolate or honey. These notes are completely... Are they wrong? I don't know if the notes are wrong on there. I'm looking on Fragrantica and I don't smell a single note that I'm smelling on my arm. It's almost more soapy. It's like a soapy licorice or something. And I'm going to check the notes for Mercedes-Benz because I can smell the notes a little bit more like that. Yeah, I was right. Mercedes-Benz does smell like vanilla. I knew it was sweet. I could smell the vanilla instantly. It's a very vanilla smelling fragrance. Well, I don't know what else I could say. Like, there's benzoin in there. I think benzoin does have a vanilla smell naturally. Apparently, benzoin smells like vanilla, and combined with vanilla, I think it brings out that sweetness a lot more. There is a little bit of wood. It does say there's wood in there. I can smell the vanilla-y wood benzoin, but I don't smell the incense or the jasmine or the bergamot. So, nah. Mercedes-Benz, Club Black, vanilla-y wood, which is nice. Vanilla-y wood is a very nice smell. Like, you can't hate that. Maybe the dry down will be different. We'll see. And Mugler, pure Havane. I don't know what I'm smelling. Like soapy patchouli. Soapy patchouli. Yeah, I'm going to say that's what I can smell. Soapy patchouli in pure Havane. It's weird. I don't know. Why does it smell soapy? It's supposed to smell like tobacco. What, does anyone know why pure Havane smells like soap? Soapy musk. A musky soap with patchouli in it. Is that labdamen? Is that what labdamen or styrax smells like? Does anyone know? No, it says labdamen is supposed to be leathery. Okay, it says styrax is a balsamic note with floral woody nuances. That might be what I'm getting. I think the styrax is giving me a floral smell. I can smell that. The styrax. Yeah, soapy styrax with a little bit of musk and patchouli in pure Havane. I can't explain how disappointed I am. I love tobacco fragrances. I really wanted that to be tobacco, like Spice Bomb. I wanted that tobacco note to be boom, like in your face. Oh man. I could say it's nice and fresh fragrance. If you want something fresh, soapy, woody, floral, kind of along those lines. Pure Havane, I see why people like it because it's got that freshness. It's not an overly sweet bomb like you would think. It does almost smell like, it smells oriental to me. It does have an oriental smell. But yeah, the Mercedes-Benz, woody, benzoin, vanilla. So there's two, I can't say much else. I don't know what else to say about them besides they're okay, they're nice. I don't hate either one of them, but I'm very disappointed by both of them. Okay, I'll be back. I have one more fragrance to review and my camera's literally about to die right now. So I don't even have time to review this last one. Give me like 2 minutes and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back and I've given that a few extra minutes to dry down. The smell kind of does change a little bit of the pure Havane. It kind of turns into like a more of a sweet scent. Once it dries down, you get a little bit more honey, a little bit more vanilla. And then it's not as harsh, it's a little bit smoother, and it's just a lot better than in the initial opening. So yeah, give it about half an hour if you do want to buy that, then it should dry down to a much better scent. And the last sample I got here is CH PRIVE by Carolina Herrera. Never smelt this one before, and I just had to like wash my hands, so I would have extra room to spray this. So initial thoughts on the opening of this. That is very, it's almost leathery. There's a freshness to it, a fresh citrus, something leathery, or I'm not sure what it is. I wish I could look at the notes, but I don't have my computer here. So yeah, I'm just purely gonna guess what the notes are in this. I'm going to say citrus, wood, maybe something floral in there or leathery. But I like that one too. That's pretty well balanced for a clean fragrance. It's not your typical just citrus fragrance. It's got some depth to it. I'd say that's unisex. Like, it's not overly masculine or musky. It's just fresh and clean. Like a dumb reach that you could pretty much wear any occasion. And yeah, as it dries down, you get some more wood coming through. So I think there's definitely wood in there, or something that is very earthy smelling, very woody. And yeah, I'll post the notes up anyway, like along here. What the actual notes are when I finish the video, I'll go back, have a look on the computer, and I'll just put them right here. Yeah, so I do think I'm getting something citrus, something woody, floral. Not quite sure what the notes are. It's just a blind smell on those blends. Yeah, it's good though. Like, it's not better than like some of the other ones in here, but I think it's just a mass appealer. It's going to appeal to basically anyone. It's not something you're really going to hate. You won't really regret buying it either. Really nice scent. That's about it. So I'll rank them all, and I'll just put like a little list on in the description or in the video somewhere. I'll make a little list, like the best to worst, so you know which ones I prefer, which ones I don't, and then you can basically research them or try them yourself, and you can make your own decisions of what you like. Whatever I like, I'll make my top 10 list and put it in the video this year. So that's about it. Peace out.